This is an ethical question about defections. If I'm a senator, but in the eyes of the law, the people did not vote for me, Sandra Ezekwesili, but instead voted for my party, the Hard Facts Party, why should I remain a senator when I defect? Or should I leave the Senate seat behind for the Hard Facts Party that actually got elected? Then the PDP thinks that, well, this is actually what should be happening. And in fact, the party is threatening to sue any more of its members who chooses to leave for the APC without resigning from offices that they won on the party platform. The PDP is reacting to a recent wave of defections that has seen the PDP lose 3 governors. So you have Dave Umahi of Ebonyi, Ben Ayade of Cross River, and Bello Matawale of Zamfara State. Now, the APC will point out that, well, PDP did not complain last year when Godwin Obaseki moved in the opposite direction in Edo State. But I'm not going to make their cases for them. They're here on the show, and they'll make the cases for themselves. Let the parties speak. When the horses are in the room, there's no need to speak for them, right? Now, what are the ethics of defection? What are they? I have two party members here to debate and discuss this. In the red corner, representing the umbrella, is a Frontline Lagos PDP strategist, Demola Olarenwaju. Welcome to Hard Facts. Demola, I think you're muted.
Hi, Sandra. It's a pleasure to be here.
All right. Can you speak up so that we can all hear you? Because your voice is very faint. And then switch your device to landscape mode so that people get a better experience of you. In the blue corner, we have, representing the Broom, a member of the Young Stakeholders of APC and the Executive Director Communications for RED. Segun Tomori, welcome to Hard Facts.
Thank you very much. Red Pole Media. Nice to be with you, Sandra.
Good to have you here. Lagos, of course, you can join the conversation, right? If you have thoughts about defections, go ahead and share them with us. Do you think elected officials should keep the seats that they leave that they won with a particular political party? What do you think causes defections? The numbers to call for women 014657190, for men 0700 993 993. Demola, the PDP just lost 3 governors to the APC. We're hearing rumors that more may be thinking about crossing. What's causing all of these defections from your party? What did they pursue them?
I mean, what we've heard is that, the federal government, which is the federal government has been intimidating governors into joining them. With using various state agencies, and if we remember what Adams Oshomole, the former chairman of APC, said a while back, that once you join APC, your sins are forgiven. So I guess that's what some of them are doing. We PDP politically understands the tactics, but at the end of the day, I think what is being affected is our democracy, is the idea of democracy. The fact that you can sit back during election period, all you just have to do is win federal power by all means, and then you lure governors to come over with federal power, by intimidating them, by luring them, and so on and so forth. I've not yet seen the official reaction, but from Rivers State. But if you follow what happened within the last couple of days, Imo State recovering 43 oil wells from Rivers State, those kind of things show you that there's a slant. There's that sense that if you are part of the federal government or if you're in the ruling party, there are some things that will come to you that will be of benefit to you. And I frankly think that these things are not these things are a bit anti-democratic. But I think that eventually it will not necessarily help the party that is luring the governors over, to put up structures in those states. Because in most situations, what you have is that the person who is defecting is not really defecting with the full cabinet or with the full structure of the PDP in those states. And you still have people who remain behind. In Zamfara State, the deputy governor is still a member of the PDP. Umahi defected, but the PDP reps, the PDP senators did not defect. Same thing too with Cross River. So I think, yes, at the end of the day, it affects democracy, and it makes, although it might make, the ruling federal government feel good about itself, but it is neither here nor there eventually. But it is a proof that, the ruling party, is anti-democratic most of the time, because the constitution is clear on how you can defect, and why you can defect. You can defect if there is a split in a party, or if a party is factionalized. But when the party is not factionalized and you just decide to defect, then you have to wonder. But like I said, it will also be both ways. You would also have it both ways at some point. So I think that it's deficient for democracy. Yes.
Let me come to Segun. Segun, what do you think is behind all these PDP governors crossing to your party, and what do you think about Demola's take?
Thank you very much, Sandra. I find it very amusing that Demola can be saying federal governments are luring the governors, like the governors are some low-level appointees of the president. It's very shameful and very laughable that any governor, what is onions, chief executive officer of a state, can be lured by what? Of the APC. We're in opposition for 16 years, the leading lights of our party.
We seem to have connection issues there.
What is, hello, can you hear me?
Now we can hear you, yes.
Oh? Okay. I said
that's quite unfortunate.
I remember at a point in this country, if allocation, LG allocations. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, yeah. but the network keeps dropping off, unfortunately. Once you start talking, it drops off.
Oh my god! And I think I'm in the best position.
Okay, just go ahead. Yes, just go ahead.
Oh.
And off we go again. Perhaps maybe put your video off and let's see if it works with just audio. If you can hear me.
Okay, I said at the point in this location, I see, and okay, with just audio.
Let's try that.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. I said I find it amusing that Demola can say the federal government is luring governors, and that's the reason they are defecting. Governors as chief executive officers of their states are not low-level appointees or any appointee of the president. They are elected as much as the president is elected. So it's very shameful that very shameful thing to say that governors are being lured, and so because of that they are defecting to APC. And I also said that at the point in this country, we had a governor, former governor of Lagos State, that stayed in the opposition, despite the fact that LG allocations for his state was seized, and a lot of intimidation went on in that administration, that PDP administration. But he stood his ground, to galvanize the opposition from one state to state, and to galvanize the opposition to win at the center. You get, those are men of principle. So concerning, I would like to say this, Sandra, that I'm very ashamed of the PDP as a major opposition party. Okay. I am a firm believer of a viral opposition in a democracy, in a multi-party democracy. Okay. I'm a firm believer in viral opposition. Okay. But what we've seen is the PDP juggernaut and whatever they call themselves, they seem to want to be pitching their tent to where their bread will be buttered. You get what I'm saying? Okay. What they should have been doing to provide a viral opposition to our party, to provide our opposition checks and balances. They are not doing that. Okay. They are not doing that, and it's very shameful. And you cannot blame the APC for not trying to poach, the willing members that want to defect. After all, politics is a game of numbers.
Demola, I'll come to you. No. Demola, calm down.
No, because we cannot. I don't think we should normalize that. Really,
Yes.
I don't think we should.
I will.
I mean, you are engaging in something that is unconstitutional, and then a young person is saying
Demola, hold on. When you were talking, Demola, gentlemen, I am
not done.
Hold on, gentlemen.
I am not done.
Gentlemen, hold on. Okay, so here are the ground rules. Here are the ground rules, right? When one person is talking, we're going to let that person finish, and then if you have responses, you respond after they're done. Okay? Okay, Segun, go ahead.
Okay, so I said, I expected that, this is 6 years of our administration. I expect a strong opposition from the PDP. I expected checks and balances. I expected them to put their acts together, to prevent whatever unconstitutionality or whatever is saying that is happening. You get, but this is not the first time we are seeing defections, across parties, both from PDP to APC. At the point, Governor Otom of Benue State defected on the eve of the 2015 election, to PDP and all that. And you also mentioned Governor Obaseki defecting, last year when he had issues with APC and all that. I would want, more stringent conditions for defections and all that. I would want our parties to be based on ideology, but you cannot stop a party, if people are willing to join a party, whether governors, whether normal people or whatever, from joining. But I will want that, for instance, in my own party, that will protect the ideological core of the APC, such that, the defectors do not come to water down our ideology. If you're going to defect, you have to follow the ideology of the APC. You have to follow, the laid down ground norms of governance that APC is implementing.
Okay.
And, they said something about the unconstitutionality. The onus falls on PDP to go to court. If they feel so aggrieved about, let them go to court.
Okay. Hold on.
I'm sorry, but when it comes to the Constitution, I feel that we have to be very clear, so that people do not make any mistake.
Okay.
It is a constitutional matter. If a party is not factionalized, people should not defect. When defection starts happening and we start justifying it on the basis of we are poaching, and then you are trying to walk back that statement now by saying that you wish that your party will reject people after saying that your party should be poaching, after encouraging it as normal politics, then I think, we have to make the standard very clear. It's a constitutional matter. Do not defect if your party is not factionalized. This is settled in law. And so I do not believe any young person, for any reason whatsoever, whether PDP, whether APC, should justify the fact of it. Now, when it comes to, in some cases, like on the issue of Governor Otom, on the issue of business, which was a matter of life and death, out of the belief that the law was not made for man, or man was not made for the law, but rather the law was made for man. His people were dying. He was in the ruling party, APC. He was in that party and his people were dying and nothing was being done. He then decided that, look, for the sake of my people, I should go. That is a matter of life. It's a matter of life and death.
How about Obaseki?
So, Governor Obaseki was running for his political life, So definitely, we can say that, that is also an issue. But the ruling party should realize that, look, you are the ruling party. You are the federal government. PDP did it in the past, many years ago. And it is condemnable then. You look at it case by case and you say, look, this is condemnable. Now, you might not know, Segun Tomori, you might not know, but I know for a fact that most of these governors, some of these governors are being lured and some of them are being threatened. Now, you can go on and say, okay, someone was in a position for a long time, or this person, or they are not babies, and so on and so forth. People have different political methods. There are governors in this country who were threatened. Look, if we know some of this, we know some of the politics that goes on behind. Because the fact is this: we have to make it very clear on this show that, look, it is unconstitutional. There's a reason why the Constitution forbids or the Constitution prohibits defection, except in the case where your party is factionalized. Whether PDP is the beneficiary, whether APC is the beneficiary, constitutionally, we have to set that ground now.
Can I ask you? Can I ask you this? Can I ask you this, Demola? Should Bukola Saraki have resigned after defecting?
In what situation? When he was where?
When he defected. When he defected, should he have resigned? Yes.
Well, interestingly, something interesting was going on at the background at that time. If you remember, Alhaji Abubakar Galadima continues to insist that he is the leader of a faction, or as at that time he was insisting that he was the leader of a faction of the APC. Now he is an APC factional leader. So the party was factionalized at that time. Now, the tactics has been tried before, where the opposition triggers a factionalization in the other party in order to permit their members to come. We've seen it happen in PDP before under President Goodluck Jonathan. There was a group calling itself NPDP, and that was what facilitated the governor's defection to make up what became APC. And so when somebody is talking about ideology, I do not understand, which party is really ideological or which ideology of APC they are coming to contaminate, because we all know, or some those of us who are political watchers or who understand politics understand that if there's any party in this country today that does not have any ideology, it's the All Progressive Congress. A party that calls itself a progressive party but has no progressive ideals. That the number one figure in that party does not even understand what restructuring is, which is supposed to be a major plank of the progressive ideology. So constitutionalism must be upheld, even when we continue to politic. Poaching members is a sign of weakness. I mean, you fielded people in this state, for God's sake. And you've had people like Senator Marafa, you've had people like the former Governor Yari in Zamfara, saying that, look, they do not want this person to be a part of their party. But you have a party that is so bent on acquiring structures in poaching, as Segun describes it. But, if that poaching is done in line, if you are selling your ideology, if you are doing the hard work, if you have an ideology to sell to the people and people come on the basis of that, then we understand. But when it comes on the basis of intimidation and on the basis of luring them, and on the basis of saying that, once you come to APC, your sins are forgiven, or, doing things like picking oil wells from one state and giving it to another, those are the kind of things that we need to condemn, especially within our own generation.
Segun, I have to ask you this. What do you think about the legal argument that parties, not candidates, are elected, and therefore, if an elected official defects without a factional split, they should leave the seat? Segun.
Sandra, cases about legal argument and constitutionality and all that, I think is within the purview of the courts. I think the Supreme Court, is the arbiter in terms of the Constitution and what have you. Those are the receiving end of this defection, Demola and his party. If they feel so strongly about that, let them approach the courts. I want to see adjudication on that case. I want this to improve our jurisprudence. You get. Let us have a firm Supreme Court decision on that. So if they feel so strongly about that okay, the defections are against the law and all that, they should approach the courts, which is the right thing to do. It's not about
recording in progress.
Go ahead. Sorry,
it's not about going. Okay, it's not about shouting about this is the law. This is the law. Let us have those that will adjudicate, rule on it, so that it can, so that both APC and PDP can learn from that. I don't mind once we have a Supreme Court pronouncement on that issue. Whichever party that it affects them. You get what I'm saying? But somebody has to take the decision. You don't keep shouting and saying, "Oh, it's illegal. It's against this." Well, no. Approach the courts.
Well, the PDP. Okay. I was gonna say, well, the PDP has said they'll go to court, but we do have somebody in the PDP on the show today, and he will speak to that. But before you speak to that, I need to let Lagos in because we have a break coming up in 3 minutes, and Lagos will kill me if they don't talk to both of you. Call us 0700-993-993 014657190. If you're a man, please don't call the second number. That second number is for our female listeners. If you are a woman, don't call the first number. That first number is for our male listeners. 0700-993-993 for men. For women, 014657190. Women, 014657190. Everybody gets 60 seconds, 1 minute. That's it. Make your point. Go straight to the point. Don't start greeting my ancestors. Adedayo is an Ayobo. Hi, Adedayo. Good to have you on the show. Hi, Adedayo. Hi.
I'm fine.
You've got 1 minute.
Good evening, Sandra.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, to the two
politicians over there, I would just like to tell them that Nigerians see APC and PDP as the same. They are the same of the same, no difference. The two of them tomorrow will be can cross over. That's what we know about them. And it's a sign of weakness of the parties. If I have about 100 million naira and I'm interested in being the governor and I put it down, I know either party will pick me up. Then after about 2 or 3 years, if I'm tired of that party, I'll switch over to the other side once I have my money. In the situation where the party is the one that is financing the campaign of the candidate, then you can talk about the party now seizing the seat.
Thank you for calling. Etim in Satellite Town. Hello.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. You've got 60 seconds.
All right. PDP, I don't know why they are behaving like this, because they don't have shame and conscience. PDP is the reason why we have staggered election, governorship election in Nigeria, because of their rigging spree. Even the justice that have the bold courage to nullify to restore those stolen mandates to the rightful owners, Justice Ayo Salami, they sacked him, even when NJC recommended to Jonathan to sack him, and they later make a U-turn to reinstate him. Jonathan refused, and rather he sent him on compulsory retirement.
We'll take a break. We'll be right back.
The life you desire. A fantastic job, great education for your kids, exotic vacations, and finally, retiring well, knowing that you've secured your family's financial needs. It's beautiful when you think of it, right? But without the right plan, all these dreams could just be wishful thinking. My Here's Plan from Here's Life combines savings and life insurance to secure your child's future. We pay an agreed amount up to 5 million naira or more to your child or beneficiary if the unforeseen happens to you, their provider. This way, your dream for your child continues as planned. Visit www.here'slifeassurance.com to get started. Here's Life. Tell us your dream.
Hey you, guess what's going on? It's your Deals Plug, and as usual, I've got the most amazing information in the market, and it's tailor-made just for you. Check this. Exceptional with Sam is a live show streamed on Instagram, LinkedIn, and YouTube every Thursday, where viewers get a feel of their industry idols and icons, anchored by Samuel Akini Ajiboyede, founder and CEO of Zibo Digital Supply Chain Platform. Exceptional with Sam has featured top names in several industries across the globe, the likes of Lanre Olushola, Zara Zamani, Tosin Olashende, and many others. Join Exceptional with Sam this Thursday at 7 p.m. on Instagram Live at Samuel Ajiboyede as he hosts a leading entrepreneur and author, David Meltzer, on the topic Success, Happiness, and Financial Freedom. That topic again is Success, Happiness, and Financial Freedom. One person gets to win 100,000 naira. Now, all you need to do is follow on Instagram at Samuel Ajiboyede, do a 30 seconds video on Exceptional with Sam, tag at Samuel Ajiboyede on Instagram with the tag #Exceptional with Sam. The post with the highest number of likes automatically wins 100,000 naira. The winner will be announced on Friday, the 9th of July, 2021. Exceptional with Sam, where you meet and hear your favorite icon for impact and productivity.
Talk, news, and sports after this.
This is what we live for. To connect with history in the making. To stream every breathtaking moment. To witness Mbappe, Kane, and all the football greats. To be part of the journey to glory. This is where we live the good and the bad. And unashamedly give our all to the beautiful game. Live the experience. Watch all the Euro 2020 action live from SuperSport on Showmax Pro. Sign up at showmax.com.
Let's talk about the life you desire. A fantastic job, great education for your kids, exotic vacations, and finally, retiring well, knowing that you've secured your family's financial needs. It's beautiful when you think of it, right? But without the right plan, all these dreams could just be wishful thinking. My Here's Plan from Here's Life combines savings and life insurance to secure your child's future. We pay an agreed amount up to 5 million naira or more to your child or beneficiary if the unforeseen happens to you, their provider. This way, your dream for your child continues as planned. Visit www.here'slifeassurance.com to get started. Here's Life. Tell us your dreams.
Good life, magic. I can't believe this is what me wanna do. Glucose gives me energy, making me going all day. Mama magic,
good life magic, yummy magic. My friend, vitamin C helps boost immunity, keeps me healthy and my mommy worry free. Mama,
filled with goodness of vitamin C. Good life magic. Taste the magic of good life.
Not a new level. Where sample your ticket from Baskin to yesterday's gone today. It be a lucky day for Baskin to you are royal, you oh, you come make me bet with Baskin to go check these cars today. It be a lucky day.
Playground for kings.
Hey Lagosians, some thrilling news for you here. Do you know that Air Peace, Nigeria's premier airline, is launching flight operations into Ilorin on Thursday, June the 17th, 2021? Yes, that's right. Now this means you can fly daily to Ilorin from Lagos and Abuja while experiencing our signature hospitality offered by a well-trained crew. Fly with Air Peace to Ilorin and enjoy peaceful skies as you take advantage of our affordable fares. For bookings, head to our website on www.flyairpeace.com or download the Air Peace mobile app on Play Store or App Store. Go on, start booking and share the great news. Air Peace, your peace, our goal.
It's time, Nigerians. Let's join hands to break the cycle of misinformation in Nigeria. Remember that disinformation can tear our dear country apart. Africa Check is here to help you verify the authenticity of any information, photos, or videos you see online. Simply add us on WhatsApp on 0908 377 7789. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram at AfricaCheck_NG or visit our website at africacheck.org for more tips. Africa Check, sorting fact from fiction.
You get money for account, you want take small thing inside, just do cardless withdrawal with any Momo agent. Oga, madam, where is your card? I don't forget them for house. If you do cardless withdrawal with any Momo agent, anytime you need the money, but your card is there for yonder, just go do cardless withdrawal with any Momo agent. Cardless withdrawal with Momo agent, Momo agent, card withdraw with Momo agent, any Momo agent.
Now you fit withdraw money even if you not hold your card for any Momo agent where they near you. Just dial *223# to take touchlight the Momo agent where they near your domot. Momo agent, safe, fast, no wahala.
Mommy Shade, this child looks sickly. Try and take her to the hospital. I wish I could, but the expenses are too much. Don't tell me you have not heard about LSHS Ilera Eko. Ilera Eko? What is that?
Lagos Health is our wealth. Ilera Eko.
Oh yes, Lagos State Health Management Agency, LASHMA, has designed an affordable and quality healthcare scheme for Lagos residents. In Ilera Eko, at your convenience, you can have access to antenatal, delivery, immunization, management of hypertension, diabetes and other illnesses, family planning and basic emergencies. Register with Ilera Eko branded agents and at the nearest Ilera Eko branded outlets. Pay 40,000 naira annual subscription for a family package or 8,500 naira for an individual package and start to experience peace of mind. For more information, call 0700 Ilera Eko or 0800 Ask Lashma or visit www.lashma.com. Ilera Eko, affordable and quality healthcare for Lagos residents.
This is what we live for. To connect with history in the making. To stream every breathtaking moment. To witness Mbappe, Kane, and all the football greats. To be part of the journey to glory. This is where we live the good and the bad. And unashamedly give our all to the beautiful game. Live the experience. Watch all the Euro 2020 action live from Supersport on Showmax Pro. Sign up at showmax.com.
You get money for account. You want take small thing inside. Just do cardless withdrawal with any Momo agent. Oga, madam, where is your card? I don't forget them for house. If you do cardless withdrawal with any Momo agent. Anytime you need the money, but your card is there for yonder. Just go do cardless withdrawal with any Momo agent. Cardless withdrawal with Momo agent. With Momo agent. No card withdraw with Momo agent. Any Momo agent.
Now you fit withdraw money even if you not hold your card for any Momo agents where they near you. Just dial *223# to take touchlight the Momo agent where they near your domot. Momo agent. Safe, fast, no wahala.
It's time, Nigerians. Let's join hands to break the cycle of misinformation in Nigeria. Remember that disinformation can tear our dear country apart. Africa Check is here to help you verify the authenticity of any information, photos, or videos you see online. Simply add us on WhatsApp on 0908 377 7789. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram at AfricaCheck_NG or visit our website at africacheck.org for more tips. Africa Check, sorting fact from fiction.
You are listening to your number one station for talk.
Your number one station for talk.
99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
It's 5:35. I'm Sandra Ezekwesili. Do defections help or harm democracy? I told you the Supreme Court has ruled that Nigerians elect political parties, not candidates. And, we've had this factor become more and more important because with all of the defections happening, it raises an ethical question about defections. If as a senator, but in the eyes of the law, the people did not vote me, Sandra Ezekwesili, but they voted my party instead, the Hard Facts Party. Should I remain a senator when I defect, or should I leave the seat behind for the Hard Facts Party that actually got elected? If you listen to the PDP, they say yes. In fact, they're threatening to sue any more of its members who chooses to leave for the APC. Now, I've got a representative from the PDP on the show. I also have a card-carrying member from the APC on the show. Demola Olarenwaju represents the umbrella. He's a Frontline Lagos PDP strategist. And Segun Tomori is a member of the young stakeholders of the APC. He's also an executive director communications for Red Media. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us, and thank you for staying on the show with us. Before the break, somebody said something interesting, and it's something that re-echoes a point that Demola made in the beginning. I'm going to have to come back to Demola with that question, and then Segun, you're going to respond after Demola answers. But you know what? I think I should flip it. Let me start with Segun, then I'll come back to Demola. Segun, when Adams Oshomole says, when he was your party member, when he was your party's national chairman, he famously or infamously said that if you have a corruption matter but join the APC, you will be washed white as snow. The PDP has pointed to this statement over and over as proof that your party is using anti-corruption cases as part of a carrot and stick strategy to force powerful politicians to join you. How do you justify those comments by Oshomole while he was your party chairman? And how do you address these carrot and stick accusations that Demola has mentioned over and over since this conversation started?
I won't justify any statement made by the former chairman. The former chairman has been removed as the former is now a former chairman. So whatever I said belongs to the past, so to speak. So and I don't think, and Sandra, I don't think the way he said it is the way you put it. You get, he might have said some things jokingly, but I don't think he said it the way you put it. I think you helped him to garnish the way he said it, Sandra. So that on a lighter mode though. So, but I feel that I don't know anything about carrot and stick or luring or intimidation or whatever that Demola keeps saying. I know that there are lobbying. Politics is about lobbying. Like I said, it's about lobbying. It's about negotiations. It's about talking to people and all that. So if you are talking about negotiations, if you're talking about lobbying that our party is doing, yes, our party can be said to be lobbying. Members that don't feel that their party is comfortable for them, members that feel disenchanted with their party, members of the opposition that the opposition cannot keep in their fold. It's very shameful that they cannot keep their members just because they are in opposition. It's very shameful. They should have a close-knit system of members, that will be committed, to providing a viral opposition for the ruling APC. But they seem that they are rudderless. The PDP today, as an opposition party, is rudderless, is directionless, doesn't even know what to do and how to play the game. I think the game they know how to play most is to be in your ruling party and to run a kleptomaniac administration. That is what they know how to do best.
All right, let's leave it at that. Let's leave it at that because you got 2 minutes. So let me give 2 minutes to Demola. Demola, what do you say to that?
I think I should start from where he ended the previous time, because I didn't get a chance to address some of the things that he concluded with. Like I said, I'm happy that, Sandra, you're a young person. Segun, you're also a young person, and I'm also a young person. I think we need to set a standard for politics in our generation. I'm not one. The caller who called in said, if you have 100 million, you can be elected on one party platform and defect on another party platform. I'm one of those who believe that, it is things like this that make political parties in Nigeria not have ideology, because our people themselves do not have ideology. They don't believe in one direct thing. And I've given an instance. How does APC accept into its fold? How does a so-called progressive party accept people into its fold, whether or not they believe in the progressive ideology? And that is why I said that APC is a party that has no ideology, because you have the number one person in that political party saying that, he doesn't understand what restructuring means, whereas restructuring should be a major plank of the progressive ideology, which is, a radical change ideology. So as young people, we should be able to say we want a standard to be there in politics. So it's not just about saying, oh, we've poached your members, go to court. No. When Nigerians voted for APC on the promise of change, they wanted them to be different from what it was. Now, it is unfortunate that PDP got out of power at a time when PDP had changed, when PDP had dropped some anti-democratic tendencies. A lot of things. Our democracy is not going to be 8 years old by 2023. It didn't start with President Muhammadu Buhari. Litigations have been going on before now on these issues. So when somebody sits here and says, oh, go to court about it, the matter has been litigated, Supreme Court has made it clear. Because on the ballot, what you have is political parties and not persons. And so when people then take that seat and betray the trust of the people and leave in a proper ideological society, that person should feel a certain onus to resign that office. But what we have in Nigeria is an aberration. It's an aberration of democracy, particularly under this government, under this party. It's an aberration of democracy. But they should not make us repeat the mistakes of the early days of PDP. There was a time when PDP used to do these things too, poaching members and celebrating it. But those things are not long-term, they're not sustainable in the long term. And so I think, we as young people can agree. It's a political party. My party is a political party. It's not a cult. If I feel that the party, is deviating from something, I can speak out and say, look, I disagree in this particular instance. I don't think that, this is right. So we set the tone of constitutionality, first of all, set the tone for ideological politics in Nigeria, second of all, and then we should also be able to say that, look, political parties should go out there and prove themselves.
Okay,
If
so
APC is
that's your
sure
2
that
minutes.
their
That's your
ideology is so acceptable, then they should go and set up structures.
that's your 2 minutes. But I'll stay on you, Demola, and then I'll come back to Segun. A lot of Nigerians, and you heard the caller who called in, right? A lot of Nigerians believe that there isn't much difference between your parties. Now, I'm sure you both disagree with that. But here's what Nigerians ask. If APC and PDP are really so different, how come both parties have such an easy time accepting members from the other party who defect? Aren't they the same people who were making the other party so bad and so different from your party? Demola.
Well, I mean, for me, I think, if people say that the parties are not different from each other, it's a function of the fact that Nigerians themselves, as one of the callers himself, demonstrated, people don't have, ideologies when it comes to governance. People are easy to say, oh, it doesn't matter who you vote, it doesn't matter. But one thing that I am sure of is that within the past 6 years, people have seen the difference between what it was under PDP and what it is now under APC. And so if people feel that there's still no difference between their quality of life, between the freedoms that they had under the previous PDP government, if they feel that there's no difference between that and this, then we say good luck to everybody. But, some of us know that there is a key difference, and that difference is that our party is a better manager of the economy. Our party had left the early days. You see, for me, I think the important thing is for us to do right with the people, and that is that APC should have learned from the mistakes of PDP and not go back to the earliest days of PDP and be making the same mistake. I mean, I've also been in that position before where, we had governors defecting and our party was celebrating. If APC is coming back to that now, forgetting that these things have gone through the process of litigation and it is now an accepted fact in law by the Supreme Court pronouncement, then, we know that APC is determined to make all the mistakes that PDP had made initially. So for me, there's a clear difference between both political parties.
But if you keep accepting, but again, you didn't address. My question is two parts, right? So you say there's a difference, but if you have people from the APC defecting to join your party, and your party easily accepts them from the party you say is different from yours, are these people you're accepting not the same ones who make that other party so bad and so different from your party? Why do you accept them?
Well, the thing is this: for me, the key factor with the PDP, the key factor that makes PDP different ideologically from the APC is that we are a nationalist party. Okay, it's a party that welcomes people from all over the country. It's a party where Igbos can be, Fulanis can be, Yorubas can be, and everyone feels accepted. On that front, anybody who's coming in, it's easy for us to accept them because the differences we have with the APC in that regard is that we are not a party that looks at ethnicity so much. And so when you feel that there is a problem, our name is the People's Democratic Party. When you feel that there is a problem in your political party, the People's Democratic Party will come to your rescue. And we have two instances of this. The first one is in the issue of Governor Samuel Ortom. Our disagreement with Governor Samuel Ortom is not about performance in office. It was never about any of those things. PDP is a party that values life, like I said. And when Governor Ortom was going to come, it was because of the mandate of his people that, look, go to a party that can offer us protection. And PDP was only happy to offer him succor in that situation. And then you also had the issue of Governor Obaseki. Here you have a sitting governor who, because of the national chairman, his seat was being threatened a lot. He was going through a lot within that political party, and he ran to PDP for succor, and PDP accepted him. So it wasn't an ideological defection in that instance. But every defection that has happened on the other way, I mean, in every instance, there is a major ideological clash there. You look at that of Bello Matawale in Zamfara. You look at that of Dave Umahi. Can Dave Umahi say that his people identify with APC and that is why he has gone to APC? You have the case of Ben Ayade in Cross River. Can Ben Ayade say that the people of Cross River wanted a defection to PDP, to APC rather? You cannot say that. So the instance is very, very clear. PDP has left that kind of politics that they are celebrating. PDP prefers to meet them on the battlefield of elections and win those states. But when we now win those states, and then because you are in federal power, you snatch those states or you poach it, as Segun said, and then you ask them to go to court if they like. I mean, such arrogance or such barefaced daylight robbery, is unfair. But at the end of the day, the onus also remains on the people. The case of Zamfara is very, very clear in Sandra, because the Supreme Court said that APC did not, and even a senator in APC, Senator Kabiru Marafa, said we do not want you to come. But because some interest in Abuja wanted Bello Matawale to come to their political party, they eventually brought him in against the wish of their own members within that state.
All right, let's leave it
And
at
then you are
that.
justifying it and saying people should go to court.
Let's leave it at
I
that.
mean, those things are.
Let's leave it at let's leave
there.
it at that. I want to hear Segun's thoughts, but before Segun comes on, let me tell you, Lagos, that the last 15 minutes of this show is brought to you courtesy UNICAF. UNICAF is a leading global education institution, helping you get education from countries that don't need you to defect one way or the other. Huh? So let's take a quick message from our sponsors. Started sponsoring this show from 5:45. We'll listen to them, come back, and hear what Segun Tomori has to say to the points that Demola has raised.
Ready to invest in your future? Explore endless opportunities with the exclusive UNICEF Scholarship Program. Choose from a wide range of master's degrees from prestigious British universities. Study online. Balance education with family and career growth. Extra benefit, a customized payment plan to make it even easier for you. Call us on 07000 111 000. That is 07000 111 000 to help you jumpstart today. With UNICEF, you can.
We'll tell you more about UNICEF after we listen to Segun. Segun, you heard the points Demola made. What do you say?
Yes, I do. Yeah, thank you, Sandra. It's very laughable that he keeps saying that restructuring, there's nothing being done about restructuring. APC does not care about restructuring. I can tell you today, Sandra, that for the first time, in our recent history or in the history of this country that I know of, local government allocations were paid directly to them. Was it last month or 2 months ago? That's fiscal autonomy. Under this administration, fiscal autonomy for local government, for state legislature, and for state judiciary has been, has not only been passed in the National Assembly, but also backed by Executive Order 0110 by the President. So when he's saying the President does not care about restructuring, what kind of restructuring do you want?
Yeah, but that's not the question. Segun, you're starting from the end. Start from the beginning. Remember that my first question was, people have said...
I need to take that because he has said that like twice. I'm going to get to
clarify it. The President said he doesn't understand.
Okay, we will go to restructuring, but the point I want you to address for me, Segun, the point I want you to address is the point where people say there isn't much of a difference between your both parties. Do you agree with that or disagree with it? That's number one. Okay, so number two, if the APC and the PDP are really so different, how come both parties have such an easy time accepting members from the other party who defect? I mean, the people who are defecting from the other party, they're the ones that are so bad and so different from your party, right? Why is your party accepting them?
Well, to talk about the difference between the APC and the PDP, for instance, the APC is implementing the National Social Investment Program, NSIP, which is unarguably the largest, most ambitious, social protection program in sub-Saharan Africa. Cutting across, soft credit to artisans, to farmers, to market people, to employment, empower, to conditional cash transfers to the vulnerable and the poor, which is part of our manifesto.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic. But the other side, you're saying that's why you're different from them. You're saying that this is why you're different, right? Now, why are you accepting the other side that is so different from you? That's the question.
Well, but you didn't allow me to say what we said. You are just cutting me. You allowed Demola to say everything. You're not allowing me to say, the difference. There are key ideological differences. I'm trying to, show you the difference. Under their own administration, they superintended over an employment of maybe few thousands that we had deaths of people in Abuja National Stadium. When they were going to do immigration recruitment.
And yet you're accepting governors from their party into your party. Why?
Well, that is, like I said, there should be stringent conditions for defections. Defections has been happening across parties. He was saying that Autumn. They gave soccer to Autumn. They gave soccer to governor of Edo State, right? So what we can also claim that we are giving soccer to disenchanted governors of the PDP that are defecting. So that is not a point in law. If you are going to stand on the basis of law, let us talk about stand on the basis of law that, okay, it is also unconstitutional for both parties. Don't come and tell me that you are giving soccer to one governor, this one is a life and death to another governor. How do you know it's not life and death to the governors that are defecting to our own party? You know, you can't be subjective.
The information
No, Demola, he didn't interrupt you. Demola, he didn't interrupt you. Please, Segun, go ahead.
Yes, and he's not allowing me to talk. So he's being subjective. You are giving support to this one, that's why you're accepting. This one has problem with his party, that's why you're accepting. Do you know the real reasons for the defections, going on in APC, from PDP to APC? Do you know the internal, if you meet the governors and they tell you about the internal politics that drove them from their party to APC, will you dispute that with them? So you can't just come here and be talking about constitutionality on one side and telling us that you are bringing soccer to governors that are disenchanted or something. You don't say that. If you want to stand on the point of constitutionality, stand on it. And I said I am an advocate for stringent conditions. I stand on that. For defections, and I also say, you said there's a Supreme
What will
Court
these
judgment.
conditions
Well,
be?
if there's a Supreme Court judgment,
Segun, what will those conditions be?
Conditions, well, he has to, for instance, I agree that if there are no proven cases of problems in your party, whether in the state chapter or something, or division, so to speak, you should not be allowed to defect or get away with the mandate. I agree with that, but there has to also be a way to prove that there are no disagreements, there are no factions, because there might not be factions in the national, there might be factions in the states. So it depends on how
there were no factions.
So
in the three states.
Demola, stop interrupting. Demola, stop interrupting. Segun, go ahead.
So it depends on how we are able to prove at the state level. If, for instance, I'm not in Zamfara, for instance, I'm not in Cross River. What if the governors there tell us that, okay, there are factions there are problems within the party? They can prove that to the court. So that's why I'm saying this thing, we can go to argue it. The party that is aggrieved, so to speak, can go and challenge it based on the other Supreme Court judgment to say, okay, so you have said this is what is happening. Please help us educate. Is there a basis for them to defect? You get, so instead of just shouting and just ranting, let them go to the Supreme Court to, complain that, okay, you've given this judgment, this is happening now. We want you to educate so that everybody will be clear.
Okay.
For all.
Okay. All right. Gentlemen, you have both said that your two parties are doing the same thing. You've both said that your two parties are offering succor to members of these other parties who have issues with their own political parties. And you're both also lending credence to what the people think, that there's no difference between your parties because you're offering succor to people from the other side. Gentlemen, I'll give you a chance. I'll give you a chance to respond to what I've just said, but I have UNICAF sponsoring 15 minutes of this show, and I mean, we really need to hear what their offerings are. I mean, you're not defecting to any other education agency, are you, UNICAF? No,
you're not. You don't need to defect to get higher education. I mean, UNICAF is here, and UNICAF, and a leader in online higher education, is making available to listeners of Hard Facts and to Lagosians entirely and Nigerians as a whole. We are making available 300 partially funded scholarships. Yes, 300 partially funded scholarships. And we're doing this in partnership with universities in United Kingdom, United States of America, and also prominent universities in Africa. And like I said, it's a partially funded scholarship, meaning that we give you a leeway to plan the payment plan that works perfectly for you. And you can do this from the comfort of your home, sit at home, use your system, and get a good MBA scholarship courtesy UNICAF. And for you to get more details about the scholarship, you can also speak with any of our student advisors on 07000 111 000. That is 07000 111 000. Or you can also send us a WhatsApp message on 0816 866 4442. That is 0816 866 4442.
So to summarize, you're giving away 300 partially funded scholarships.
Yep.
And if people want more info, and these scholarships, people can pay small if they want to.
Exactly.
And they can get these MBA scholarships, MBA scholarships from the comfort of their home here in Nigeria.
Yeah.
So they don't have to worry about visas and
Exactly.
flight and all of that. And then if they want more information, they should call what number?
Yeah, 07000 111 000. I'll take it again. 07000 111 000. Also send us a WhatsApp message on 0816 866 4442. That is 0816 866 4442.
All right. Thank you very much for joining us on the show. I wish we had time to take calls. More people are trying to call into the show. But Lagos, we are completely out of time. I know. Where does the time go when you're having a great time? Yes. But here's what we're going to do, because I'm sure that Segun has responses to what I said about both of you not doing a good enough job at showing Lagosians how different your parties are. Demola also probably has a response to that as well. So how about we move this conversation to a part 2 and have a do-over perhaps next week? Is that something you both like to do, gentlemen?
Yes, I mean, for me, I would love to clarify that, PDP is an opposition party.
Yes,
we don't have anything to offer anyone.
We're out of time. We're out of time, Demola. You can't sneak in a defense right now. We're out of time completely. But Demola Olarenwaju, thank you so much for your time. Segun Tomori, thank you so much for your time. It's been a pleasure having you both on the show. Lagos, stay here. Coming up, listed Lagosian. You can find me online as Sandra Ezekwesili. But we've got the news coming up at 6 o'clock. Thank you so much again to UNICAF for bringing you the final 15 minutes of Hard Facts. Until tomorrow, when we bring you global stories, Lagos, stay here. Don't go away.
This is Hard Facts
On 99.3 Nigeria Info. The conversation never stops.
The state government asked that schools should not resume till January because of COVID-19.
6 o'clock. Time to secure 5 million naira for your child's future with my hair's plan from